The end of March will be here before you know it. If you have a cruise in the Western Caribbean, say you're going to Costa Maya, Cozumel, maybe on down to Mahogany Bay or on down to Belize City, we've got the forecast for you coming up here on What's the Weather. Well, welcome into What's the Weather. I'm Brett.
I'm Sherry.
Hey, today we are going on a cruise. I wish we were going on this cruise.
I know, me too.
The Carnival Jubilee.
I know, I love the Carnival.
Yeah. Carnival's a great cruise line. We've been on just one of the ships, so we definitely have to make the Jubilee trip. And that home port in Galveston right now.
I love it.
We went down to San Jacinto Park. It's at the north end of Galveston Island. You can watch the ships kind of sail out. We saw the Jubilee and Royal Caribbean go out that one Sunday.
That was so fun because it was the smaller Royal Caribbean ship and then the Jubilee, and it's like the first one comes in and you think, oh, that's a big ship, and then the Jubilee comes around the corner and you're like, ooh.
It's fantastic. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over Sherry's suggestion, if really for what, an interior cabin or
interior cabin.
Or even a balcony. I think it works on a balcony.
It works. Yeah, it works.
Okay, so we'll do Sherry's suggestion, then I've got the forecast.
Hey, thanks. Hey, everybody, here's my suggestion for today, and I'm going to tell a little story real quick. Our very first cruise was our honeymoon, and we had an interior cabin because we were young and we were broke. And we were having room service sent the next morning, and the bathrooms, if you've been on a cruise ship, you know that the bathrooms, you have to step up a little bit and you flip the light on. It illuminates the entire cabin. So I wanted to leave the door open so that if we had to go to the bathroom, like we wouldn't be banging around. So I left the door open. Well, room service happened and the room's pitch dark, and Brett gets up to open the door for room service, and of course the bathroom door is wide open and he just kind of smacks right into it. So from that point on, I decided that anytime we cruised, we really needed a little nightlight. Okay, so that's my suggestion, is get a nightlight for the bathroom so that you don't have to leave the door open and it becomes an issue. So there's a couple of options. What I do, because I like a value, I go to the Dollar Tree and I get these fancy little tea lights that are battery powered. You just turn them on by the little switch. I leave them in the bathroom overnight. That way when you open the door and go in, you don't have to flip the light on and wake everybody in the cabin up. It also, again, I think it's good, even if you have a balcony cabin and you have light coming in, it's still just nice to have these in, and then you don't have to flip on the big light, but it's really, really, really handy if you're in an interior cabin and it's pitch dark. Okay, so this is my option. Now, I've been doing some research because I'm thinking of upgrading, and I found a really cool one on Amazon. It's magnetic and it is rechargeable. So it's got a USB. It takes, I think, a couple hours to recharge it. And then it's magnetic, so you can put it on the bathroom wall and leave it on. I don't forget how many hours, but I put a picture of it in the little comment thing there. So, so a couple of options for that, but that's my suggestion. Bring some light into the cabin, especially if you're an interior cabin. It makes it much better for everyone. All right, thanks.
All right, everyone, forecast for really the Carnival Jubilee. If you're headed from Galveston and you are headed down to Costa Maya, Mahogany Bay, and Cozumel, we are looking at the forecast for not only the days at sea, but also those ports of call. So let's get you started by just a look at the climatology for the Caribbean in late March and early April. Average highs are in the mid to upper 80s, so you've picked a great time to go on a cruise. We just have to have the weather cooperate, right? It's the dry season, so there's always a low chance of rain. The ocean temperature considered comfortable for swimming. I'm going to show you the ocean temps coming up. And light to moderate winds will also be a feature of this cruise. All right, so let's break this down. We're going to talk about Galveston. You're arriving. Day of April is one of the most pleasant times of the year to visit Galveston. So even when you come back from the cruise, maybe a little extra time to hit the strand. Highs increase from an average of 72 to an average of 78 from the end of March to the end of April. Average water temperature, if you're going to stick around and swim in Galveston, is around 70 degrees, maybe up to about 75. All right, so you have that day at sea. You get down to Costa Maya. Again, you're talking about the dry season in the Western Caribbean, western parts of the Atlantic, so it looks really great. Costa Maya, for any of your excursions, I'd pack a lot of sun tan lotion. Make sure that you are protected and drinking plenty of water. Looks like temperatures will be in the lower 80s. We'll have that typical southeast breeze for that time of the year and just a 20% chance of rain. All right, Mahogany Bay, same temperature and less of a chance of rain. I mean, fantastic. Just a 10% chance of rain, lots of sunshine, breezy southeast winds off the ocean. I mean, it is going to feel fantastic. And a quick look at that forecast for Cozumel. Yeah, I have a 20% chance of rain in there. Again, I just think you've got a fantastic week. You picked a great week to go on a cruise. Now, there are a couple of little hiccups, bumps on the way, so let's talk about those. For instance, when you are first headed out of Galveston through the Gulf, you are going to encounter a little bit of a cold front. You might catch up to the front or you'll be right on top of the front. So seas are going to be a little rough, a little bumpy at times. Okay, and on top of that, you're also going to find maybe a chance of rain on that day at sea, a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s. Wednesday, between the ports of call, that day at sea looks pretty good. 80 degrees, just a 20% chance. Now, coming back to Galveston, again, we've got another front. Remember, Texas and along the Gulf Coast, we are entering severe weather season. So we're talking about a 60% chance of rain. Temperatures should be in the mid-80s. All right, let's talk about those water temperatures. Again, I said comfortable for swimming. That means they're going to be in the mid to upper 70s, maybe even closer to 80 degrees, especially at Costa Maya and Cozumel, especially down at Mahogany Bay. They'll be a little bit warmer than that. So that looks fantastic if you're going to get a little beach time and a little recreation in the water, something of that nature. That's a look at your forecast for the trip leaving Galveston, headed on down to Costa Maya with that day at sea, then back to Mahogany Bay, and then you've got another day at sea, get to Cozumel, and then you make your trek all the way back into Galveston. Hope you have a great trip, and let us know if this forecast pans out. You can always share this forecast with anyone that might be interested in what it's going to be like if they're going on that trip with you. Okay. All right, that does it for this edition of What's the Weather. We always invite you to like, subscribe, share. Tell us your best moment when Felix makes an appearance.
We love it. He likes to be on TV.
And if someone wants to comment, what kind of comments do you like other than nice ones?
Well, I definitely like if you have a suggestion that I can pass along because we all learn from each other. So that's why I like that.
Yeah. All right. So again, we just like, subscribe. Subscribing is very important.
And if you know anyone who's going on this cruise specifically, please share with them and with that group.
All right. And if you have a picture of your cat and you want to put it in the comment below, go ahead. He's about to jump up somewhere he's not to be. So we'll wrap it up. For What's the Weather, I'm Brett. That's Sherry. Until next time, have a great vacation.
Felix, get down.